Both teams, no, actually, just CLG is heading towards the top, and it's going to be Voyboy for Curse.
In terms of level 1, both teams are pretty bad level 1. Like, if both teams have no CC, no like hard CC, Saint would have to skill bandage toss for his team's level 1 to be halfway decent with Voi's E and
even that's kind of scary because you really distance yourself from a team. Especially,
it's just not worth it.
No.
So both teams will be playing pretty safe. There's going to get a couple outside wards up, and that's it.
An early ward shows that there will be a ward placed down by the Wraith camp.
Curse is doing a really good job with their level 1s, and that's something you really have to notice throughout the series. They're planning up to like 1 or 2 wards at every level 1 instance, and they're able to catch CLG off guard because they put up more wards than most teams. Able to secure, because they want to secure a strong level 1, and sometimes you have to double ward at level 1.
Crepo actually going again for the 2 ward into blue pot, trying to keep that lane aggressive.
Yep. It looks like they're not going to 1v2, so they're going to bait the mind game Curse and see if Curse falls for it.
Corki still is over Froggen. Oh no, Corki, not the AD rather. Confusing me already. Froggen picking up big Wraith. He's going to take a little bit of damage off that. Get the relic heal, and it looks like they will not go for the swap. That's
really smart by Froggen to take that. A lot of AP mids take that because it's really easy. You can get it down like 4 hits in 1 spell, and it sets the other jungler behind, and it sets you ahead in lane.
It's like Saint getting his blue quite quickly. He did use Smite for that.
All right, and Curse calls the mind game. They saw with the ward the amount of people who invaded, and they just took a guess and guessed right. It was a good call.
Voyboy went for 5 pot. What is his build? Actually, he does have he has the magic resistance as well to go against Rumble, so he's still going for 5 pot just for the sustain in lane, and maybe trying to go aggressive on Wicked. Saint going through his jungle, actually a little bit faster right now than Snoopy. Snoopy crushing down on the little minions.
How did he start with 5 potions? Typically, you can only
just
get
sat at
boots
base.
4.
Sat at base.
That is really strange.
Saint actually going for this quick here. He doesn't want the red right off the bat. He feels that his abilities in his kit are going to give him the slow he needs to gank.
And Moo is coming top for this gank, which is very smart.
There it is, that level 3 from Saint. I said it may slow him down, but no, it does not put him in any predicament.
Void needs level 2 before he can go in. So he got it, and Wicked's coming back.
Just patience is a virtue.
They have to go in. They have to go in off this. That back creep is low. You can
Void just waiting for that potion. He was really waiting to get top health. He is going to go in. Wicked flashes the bandage toss and for sure gets himself out safely there. Doesn't even put on the scrap shield. The ignite just ticks down. He actually doesn't have scrap shield yet, so he just played that one safe for the flash.
That was poorly played by Void. Had he done the flash E, he would have guaranteed a stun, because when both targets had the same maximum health, they would have been able to or it stuns the target, I'm sorry.
Right.
Well, to be honest, actually he might have taken creep aggro on his way over, so maybe it wasn't the same health. So maybe he was right in that situation. Now he still has splash and Wicked doesn't. So he's still up in the lane. And he should be able to win the lane matchup regardless.
Oh wow, the pressure down bottom. The minion waves are there. Crepo tanking the turret twice beautifully for his team. They micro the damage in and out and come up with first blood. Snoopy, look, he takes it, but he goes down to 50 HP.
Wow, really smart dive by CLG.EU. Very risky. Typically you don't see them do those 4-man types of dive with no CC, because they had nothing.
So Wicked pushes his lane. I don't know if he's going to back here. He may just force the push from Voyboy. No, he will back on this one. He's not going to play any trickery. Let's see what he has for himself. He does have 507. They look up to pick up some potions or maybe a tomb. No, he goes for regeneration from the Doran shield. A good grab onto Frog in the dissonance, just missing the damage. And he will be able to answer a little bit. Those auto attacks from Orianna hurting quite a bit. Nijak is getting as much damage in as he can.
So right now the mid and top lane have to play pretty far back from CLG.EU, because both of them use flash. Saint's been doing an excellent job in terms of ganking. He's been forced 2 different flashes. Snoopy unable to get this flash to do the movement speed, and it's just, I don't know. Saint's been doing a really excellent job in this series.
Oh, right in range. They have looked to swap the lanes now, actually sending Rumble down towards bottom.
That's really smart. Rumble looking to, like, originally they want him to 1v2. Like, that's the ideal with heal. And there's really not much of a sense to 1v1 the lane when you can just have a better matchup bottom and force Aurelia to be pressured. The issue is that Aurelia already has 30 CS, so she literally just needs to clear this wave and go back and buy, and she might have too many items for them to 1v2 her successfully. Because 1v2s work best when they're at similar item levels early, because it's 2v1. But with different XP levels and different item levels, it gets a little bit tougher.
So with that push, it actually almost helps Wicked get back into this game, because that bottom lane is going to be aggressive. They're going to push the creeps right into him. Hopefully he can clean these up under the turret. It looks like he's missing quite a few, but he's already 10 CS behind Voidboy up top. So he was losing that lane. We'll see if Counter Logic's quick mind swap here, or lane swap rather, will play in the minds of Curse.
Alright, so Void goes to rush Phage, picks up 2 pieces of Phage and a ward to help him ward top. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Both the junglers about even in terms of farm, almost identical in terms of farm actually. But Skarner has 2 assists off the double kill bottom, so it'll give him a little bit more gold. Corki, first item Phage, middle lane.
This is the first game where we've really seen St. Vicious not have a successful gank off the beginning. Counter Logic Europe grabbing first blood, and we see how slow it's going for Curse this time. They are doing quite well in their lanes, not saying they've lost, but their aggression is definitely toned down a bit without having that first blood in their favor.
Yeah, it's really just a bottom lane dive that established the fact, or that established Cop being behind. Like, it forced him to be in a position to where he has to play in a position where he can't pressure Wicked, even though Wicked is behind.
Counter Logic knowing they have to pull out some different strategies here, really taking the upper hand before Curse could even get it. We'll be donating blue over on both sides. No contest there for either team. It looks like we're going to see, I think, Saint may drop down after this. I believe it's warded, and actually not warded down bottom.
Yeah, Saint should definitely go bottom. When you gank a Rumble at level 6, he becomes a huge threat.
Black forces the top lane going hard. Voidboy flashing in for the kill into Crepo, but it's going to be answered back onto Yellow Pete. Great bait by Crepo in that matchup. Voidboy just going a little bit too hard there. He has always said the 2v1 is the bane of Voidboy, and they're trying to use that to their advantage. Nijaki is trying to dodge all the rockets from Froggen. Both have blue buff. Froggen's going to be able to just spit out so much more damage than Nijaki has to dodge. He can harass a lot more, and he knows it. Going in hard onto Nijaki here. Throws out a few shots. Only the Valkyrie wasted. And they continue to just push out the lane. St. Vicious heading top, trying to soak up a little bit of experience.
And look, when Wicked started down bottom, he was down 10 CS. Now he's up 12.
Yep.
So he's done tremendously well in the 1v2, while Void has died. So it ended out well into their favor to swap the 1v2, even though Wicked was behind.
Definitely a different game from Counter Logic. They've seen 2 fastballs thrown at them from Curse, and they really waited a few on this one. Now they figured out what is happening, so they're dissecting it from the beginning instead of trying to stop it into that late game.
You look at Curse's items, there are at least 5 wards on it. There's a ward on every single player on Curse. That's how much pros value map vision.
8 wards right now in the inventory. Looks like CLG, an uncontested dragon going in. And that Oracle's able to clear ward for them as well. I think Saint, this is going to be the latest Oracles he's ever had, and he doesn't even have one yet, is what I should have said. So it's going to be quite late for when he grabs that. His ultimate is up, though, so they could look to start a few things. Voidboy heads towards mid, and they put Orianna top. Wow.
This might be smarter because...
shorter lane escape, really going to help him.
It's just that Froggen has a harder time dealing with Aurelia, because Aurelia can instantly gap close, rather than... forcing Froggen to dodge skill shots, which he can do. Like, you can't outskill an instant gap close. And Aurelia does a ton of damage.
How much damage?
I'm not Freak.
Orianna pushing top. It looks like Nijaki putting a lot of pressure on this. Probably won't be able to take it down, but he will be able to prep it for something nice later. Cop again pushing down bottom with elements. This is just feeding Wicked so much CS. It's just off the turret, and he's really getting himself back into this one. They've made such a good choice. Corky getting pings up top. Oh, wow. Tell me they're going to go in on Froggen here. He has a good escape. This is going to be a really hard gank if they can pull it off. That command shockwave is going to have to be the start once they get this minion wave cleared out.
Froggen senses something suspicious. I'm unsure what he's going to do. He checks that one bush. He's going to rocket into his next bush. Yes. So he's smart. He realized there was a problem there. He definitely played it really smart. Because Jackie's movement was just so strange.
Jackie's movement was strange. He wasn't even really putting the ball in a dangerous position, trying to zone or anything as he has been. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, Wicked has 70 CS now. Like he's doing great in that 1v2 lane.
There's not enough pressure from Cop and Elements. I mean, not like you're really going to get any much with the Ice Blast anyways, but Cop not even using his W by Arcane to just poke down at Wicked. Wicked still with 2 potions on him, and that sustained from the Dorans. There's a few shots. Cop only getting 1, and he can just stand there and auto-attack. I don't know why he's not. He doesn't have to worry about grabbing any minions right now. I think they're being way too easy on Wicked.
It's just the threat of Wicked's ulti, because if Wicked ultis and the jungler's nearby, then that creates way too much pressure.
They do have a really close ward. They're not getting too much vision out of that.
They don't have a ward and try. That's the biggest thing. They only have a ward barely covering the entrance of the bottom river.
Snoopy, still with that Oracles, has yet to go down in this matchup. Able to grab that up. 2 GP10s on both junglers. They're pretty much the same exact right now. 1 ward to each as well. Snoopy being able to really give his team that map presence. Counter Logic Europe now holding the lead just as Curse did before. They're very much in the position to continue taking this match.
Alright, CLG.EU, Snoopy just doing some basic counter juggling, going to take rates. And blue buff is up. I'm curious if he'll shove mid. He'll shove mid with 3 and then go back to get blue buff.
Not going to pressure the turret enough just to take it down.
Nope. Snoopy just starts running bottom. Wicked should just start going aggressive here. If he ultis... Oh, their ward just dropped.
Not good for that. Oh, he turns around. So unfortunate. They had such a great initiation to come in there.
Right. It's just that Wicked was too far away. There's no reason to risk overextending for a gank. That's not really ideal. So if CLG.EU plays their standard slow roll... Saint taking the blue buff here because Orianna is top.
We need to see some presence. I don't think we have much of an Amumu ult being used yet from Curse. We'll have to see what this team fight composition can bring out. They have great, I wouldn't say bruisers. They have Boy on a good bruiser. That Aurelia is going to be able to wreak havoc in the fight. If he can get the Froggen and Yellow Pete in the back line, it's going to be a different fight for them. But
yeah,
great comp from CLG.
Notice the last time, the last game, we had Wicked build the 2 magic penetration items at maybe a little bit later than this time, but at the same time he had this, Aurelia had a full wit's end.
Very true. Voyboy a little bit behind where he was at this point in the match. Top lane aggression coming in. They grab onto Nijaki. Shockwave does a little bit of damage, but really doesn't prove any use for him. Goes down. And Froggen picks himself up a kill. There's aggression on mid. Voidu's onto Wicked. Quite tanky with that scrap shield on. Doesn't even really take that much damage from Cop. Cop's only holding a pickaxe right now. We've seen infinity edges from these guys by this time. Froggen tanking a few there as Gatling procking some damage and call for help from the turret. It looks like Nunu to come top here. They're really just trying to stalemate this.
Cop just picked up enough gold to buy his BF swords. He's going to back out pretty soon, because that's a huge damage increase. But top lane just going to look to force out this tower. But Saint's coming in. This could be ideal.
Oh, wow. So much damage onto Saint Vicious. He is forced out of that fight, really not even soaking up experience from the lane. And you got to remember, Curse is down 4-0, and they are down 4,000 gold, but they have that Nunu Cog, they have the protection, and they have, or from Orianna, and they have Aurelia. So their late game team comp is terror.
Honestly, they should have just killed Froggen there, I think. Even with the the Oracles on Saint, they could have made the play where they ultied and then bandage tossed in next to Froggen, and Elements would have had to open with exhaust and a snowball onto Froggen, but they would have. I don't know if they would have been able to burst through the exhaust to be able to kill Saint. I don't think it's possible. Maybe Snoopy picks up the kill afterwards, so maybe a little bit too much of a risk, but I would have liked to see that happen.
Boy taking a bit of damage there. That speed debuff still on Ezreal on that Essence Flux. So he is getting benefit from that in lane. I don't think he's leveling it though. It's definitely going to be the Mystic Shot level for Harass and then the W. He has 5-2-1 for those abilities. Ward down onto Dragon. Haven't seen too much contention for that. Actually, pretty much none. And actually, everybody mobilizing towards mid. It looks like they will start to go for this Dragon. They're clearing out all the wards. St. Vicious just gained the ground there. And they may be able to grab this completely uncontested.
With Froggen top, the top tower is too low health to defend without over too many resources. The smart idea is to just go ahead and force this drag. There's no way they'll contest.
Boy just being aggressive. Doesn't really want to fight onto Yellow Pete, but allowing his team to easily get a dragon.
Yeah, so they take the dragon, and then the trade-off will be they lose top turret, which was going to go down anyways. The only issue is that if Froggen puts damage onto this next turret, it's how much damage you can put right here while people are running up. Maybe like half turret health. That would be really, really good. But he's only able to get down like 30%, 20%. Is Boy gonna be?
Oh, they're
Phage?
going hard on him. Can they get it?
Phage?
Oh my God! Phage proc, where are you at?
Yep.
Yellow Pete unhappy with that attack. Tries to go in hard with the offensive arcane shift. Snoopy couldn't get the chase as well. Just missing the aggro on Baron. Not like it would have done anything, but Froggen makes it out alive. Just trying to be a little tricky within the other jungle. Like we said, Froggen loving to play flashy, but you know what? He's making plays for his team as well. Starting damage on that second tier turret. That is the only turret down in the game up top, but pushed in that lane quite far, so we'll have to see. Oh, destroys another one. Very nice for Counter Logic. They're just increasing their lead here and really not giving anything up. They've made hardly any mistakes. First, he was able to grab that dragon, but it really didn't put him that much more in favor of the game.
Right. Kurt's still waiting for Kog'Maw to get his first item, so he should be pretty close to his IE soon. And as soon as he picks up his IE, they might be able to look to put some pressure in with new Cog. But until then, until he picks up some items, their team comp kind of isn't that great.
Kog'Maw actually pretty much has his Infinity Edge right now. He's waiting on just a little, like 50 more gold to finish that item. There's a lot of pressure in that mid, though. They see Rumble, really not a time for him to back, but getting that item will make their team fighting so much more in favor. Just that burst damage, Kog'Maw being able to stay in back, and they can use that tanky front line of St. Vicious.
Okay. Still waiting for Jackie to finish off his first item. He's almost got his Grail again, but still missing the last piece. I'm curious if they're going to go in on Void. He's going to look to... go aggressive here.
Getting aggressive, throws on the ultimate, but he throws on Cleanse. He is going to be able to get the true shot, Barrage Shrew. This should be an absolute kill. And Wicked, if he had dodged that, would have cleaned the... Or Voidboy, rather, if he would have dodged that, would have cleanly come out of the fight. But it's a great hit and mechanics by Yellow Pete.
Void should have been able to outplay that. In my opinion,
yeah,
it's very straightforward. You know the only way Ezreal's going to be able to kill you, or before blowing flash, is that play. Oh, very good attempt by there. You force the flash with Jackie. That's very smart.
Jackie's reaction. Oh, coming down. Yellow Pete pulls up another kill onto St. Vicious.
With that low
pushed under his turret. No mana, no health. Kite Master, Yellow Pete coming up with another kill for himself, and it's going to be a 4-0-1 Yellow Pete.
Very impressive play by Yellow Pete there. But like I was saying, really his Q puts you inside the enemy target model, so if he just Q'd and walked behind them, he would have been able to get out.
Looks like CLG leaving the jungle of Curse right now with quite a lead in this game. Now they've put that gap to 7,000 gold and 3 turrets. 6-0 here at 20 minutes into the game. The only thing Curse really has for themselves is that first dragon, and the timer on it was not contested in any way. So Counter Logic is none the wiser to the time on dragon spawn. Froggen still just putting pressure everywhere. He has a ward behind him, and they have a ward down by Wraith, so anything that's going to come at him is from the front. He's really playing this very smart.
Yep, and being able to push top to that degree means that the amount of map control they gain is a hell of a lot. You have CLG.EU Froggy just waiting for someone to come in top. He trusts his damage, being able to burst either Saint or Jackie, the two most likely people to come top. Even if COG came in top, he'd still be able to go in on him. So he thinks one person's going to come to clear the wave, shove out the wave, and he's right as Jackie makes his way over there.
Oh, and Jackie may find himself going down.
Yeah, yes. Jackie won't expect this.
This is going to be big.
Oh, that doesn't see. That doesn't see. It's in the wall. Oh my god.
Yeah, go back.
Never mind. I guess he did find out. But like, I've had instances where if you Ori Q into the wall, it doesn't give you any additional vision.
There's the grab from Skarner as they come in. Saint Vicious very low, finds himself in a bad spot. And after just getting back from the death from Yellow Pete, he finds himself in the death chamber again.
Yep, and Frog in here with no mana, they can't really force Baron here, but they can at least clear it.
It's gonna be good for Saint, or Snoopy rather. Continuously having that Oracle has not died, really doing a deja vu of what Saint's games have been for the past few. Saint, that Oracle down again for Curse. And Counterlogic Europe has taken everything that has beaten them, that Curse has brought to the table, wrote it down, and they have check marks on everything. Make sure Saint does not get early ganks. Make sure we get the Oracles from Saint, which they grabbed very early on his first one, and they've just been continuously knocking down the turrets, not even giving any position for Curse. With this composition, Skara, in your eyes, where's their initiation? With all their turrets being down, no dragon to force, this becomes that stalemate position again. What is it all up to Voyboy here, or are you gonna have Saint and Voyboy on that dive?
It's all up to Cop. Like, the initiation comes from Saint, but really not looking to initiate. They're looking to force the initiation and counter initiate, which is much easier and much stronger because counter initiation usually puts the enemy team in a better position for you once they're clumped up to try to come in on you. The issue is really they're not strong enough to be able to make initiation plays. So here comes Saint looking to make this initiation. Wicked. Oh, yeah, I don't know. It's
Wicked getting taken down. The Zonius was there. It was a very back and forth.
That was
only one
that
kill
was
each.
A 4v5, and they still only got 1-for-1. Froggy got
oh my god, Froggy going into the base, looking for the inhibitor. It's not a Voyboy Nasus. It is going to be a CLG.EU Froggen this time on Corki, and he looks to just backdoor, and that's such a great pick. Voyboy, or rather, Corki's so hard to catch.
Yeah,
looks like this. Oh, he's going to just tear apart Voyboy. Force the Blade Surge away to Valkyrie, and one last shot. Yeah. He capitalizes on the kill and an inhibitor for his team all by himself. A 0 mana Curse Cop coming in, and he may look to turn this one around. He has to just go for Cop right now. He is going to die, do as much damage as you can, but huge plays by Froggen for his team.
Yeah, no, like I said, you can't really look to make initiations like that with, because you're too weak unless you have a huge numbers advantage. If you have a huge numbers advantage, CLG.EU is obviously not looking to fight. They're looking to do something like split push like that. Corki is an excellent split pusher. Not many people can 1v1 the amount of burst that Corki can bring.
And even if he gets in a bad spot, you just Valkyrie out of the situation.
Right, and so the two AD carries on CLG.EU both have identical items almost, and identical farm, and they're having a tough enough time just dealing with Corki. So with Ezreal in the mix, Ezreal Corki plus the support could probably 3v5 the enemy team at this point. They just extended their lead to about 9k gold, and I think they can get this blue. Oh!
They throw down the shockwave. It looks like Nijaki does get it for himself with that burst damage. So he walks away. That's going to be a good cooldown on Shockwave, so they really can't get back into this fight. That's one of their major initiations, along with Saint Vicious's ult, who is now farming up as much as he can.
But Ori had to use her ulti and her flash for that. They can look to make a play bottom because Saint was just top and Ori has no ulti. Like if Snoopy has flash, which he does, it's too risky, I guess. All they have to do is just wait for middle to push in, wait for the split push. They don't have to force anything. Wait. Typically CLG.EU strategy is wait for the other team to make the mistake, to dive in on you, and they will clean it up.
I feel like Saint obviously going for that Sunfire Cape is trying to put what will be the split push tactic onto Counterlogic Europe and kind of draw Froggen back to the fights, or draw Froggen away from the fights, that is, and they can really start to push this one back and dictate where Counterlogic is going to go for this. But first, really not in that position, and it may just be Valiant Attempt that goes wrong.
Right. With blue buff up, I I think Froggen should probably just go and... Oh, actually, no, he needs to put pressure middle because there's 4 people bottom. So he's going to look to just shove this out and keep applying pressure. Force Cop and maybe one more to stay middle.
They really need to switch it up. Cop needs to be with the entire team fight. There has to be somebody else to just wave clear this from a distance.
Cop is coming, but
yep.
If they looked at 4v5 right here, at best they go up a couple kills, and they lose mid tower, and they lose top Nexus tower.
This is so good on the double push. They're waiting on quite a minion wave, so they're not going to grab that mid.
This is an infuriating slow roll. Like, you can't really do anything when the other team knows how to split push. It's really, really lame to play against. And the only way you can beat it was really hard engage and smart split push strategy. And so, right there, Snoopy made a misplay with Flash, but it's not really that big of a deal. They still get one top Nexus turret, they're putting pressure middle, and they're putting pressure bottom.
This is really scary for them. That late game needs to come for that new cog and these guys. Just such a push. Like you said, it has to be infuriating for them right now. They're going to just face tank this one down, and they're going to go ahead and go back, reset, make sure there's no Barons to come up soon, and they have the damage to wipe out Baron very quick. So we have to see how this dance goes.
Right.
26 minutes in.
Look at how they played that. Baron was up the whole time. They decided not to go for Baron. They realized Baron's objective they do not need, and they can look to force down towers and split push without Baron buff, and they have full control of the map. They didn't look to go to Baron because they knew it was a risk. CLG.EU minimizes risks, looks to play their game, which is the slow roll push strat this game, and they succeeded very, very well at it. And now they have 2 more towers down, the extra gold from that, as well as like what was supposed to be a flash down on like a couple of champions, but really Sleep-Ace Flash kind of got traded in a poor position, but still they're still ahead, and they can look to make a Baron nerf now or just keep putting split push pressure.
Finishing up the Sunfire Cape. Not too much is coming in for Yellow Pete, or rather Cop, in the past few fights. He's trying to get that Phantom Dancer up. He's had the Zeal for quite some time. I think he really only added the Dagger on, and we have CLG.EU pinging on to Baron Scara. Uncontested, and Froggen stays bottom.
Right.
Great split pushing.
And here we go. If Froggen shows and they kill him, who cares? They need at least 2 to kill him, and they still lose Baron. But if Froggen plays it smart, he just sits there and waits. Wait till they get Baron. They're not going to contest. They got to free Baron due to their map control, and they're just going to go back to mid. I don't even know if they'll look to 5v5 fight. They'll still keep Froggen shoving in bot, and have the top shove in with super minions and look to slowly push in mid and bottom. It's a very smart and patient play here. Saint realizes he has to force initiation.
There it is. A beautiful shockwave onto the Amumu ult, but they're just taking so much damage. The burst coming from Yellow Pete, Froggen from the side, and they completely close down on that like a trap door. The GG comes out. Curse knows they have lost this one, and we're going to be going into that game 5.
And this is just CLG.EU playing very, very solid. They play their style well, and they force the other teams to go into their style, and it's very, very